a race lost yet won. The girl in the mirror isn't defined by a score.
Thank you for your compassionate words, Kritika. They really helped. And speaking of compassion, have you read this book, My Act of Heart?
Yes, and I yesterday got a sunshine letter inviting me to the Let's Heart It event, where we get to hear kids' moving stories written by kids too.
Now, to welcome everyone to the book reading Let's Hear It event. Just like the joy of giving, let's experience the joy of reading.
So, now a few of the phrases Anisha and I said may have sounded familiar because these are actually the stories being read here today by kids from the award-winning book My Act of Heart.
So without further ado, let me introduce the guests of honor for this afternoon.
So today we are so honored to have Rohini Jayanti. She is the founder of Story Pond and Beyond Academics platforms. And she is someone who loves experimenting with anything she finds new and works hard towards achieving it. She is a master storyteller and a budding writer who finds true happiness in narrating stories and penning down her thoughts in the form of poetry and short stories that have been published in various anthologies and international literary journals. We're really happy to have you, Roni ma'am, today.
We're also extending a warm welcome to Dr. Uma Ekamvaram Iyer, who is the president of WICCI Karnataka Childcare Council. She has volunteered for several years in science, mathematics, English, and special education. She is also a trustee in an NGO promoting Carnatic music. She is an engineer who has worked for several years in the high-tech industry. We welcome you, ma'am.
Today, we also were supposed to have Miss Ruchi Tandon, but due to some emergencies, she couldn't join us today. But nevertheless, let us introduce her. So, Miss Ruchi Tandon is the Vice President of WICCI Karnataka Child Care Council. She is passionate about causes related to women empowerment and child development. She is a software professional by qualification, a project manager by chance, and a learning development specialist and transformation coach by choice. We're really happy to announce her and have her today, but unfortunately she couldn't join us. So
yes, next I'll be welcoming Miss Aisha Shah. She is a postgraduate teacher by education, a certified global career counselor by profession, and a blogger by passion. She has over 12 years of experience as an educator, counselor, and blogger. She's the prevailing sub-editor at My Paper, a children's newspaper which aims at nurturing reading as a passion, something that Aisha herself strongly advocates. We are excited to share that My Paper will be featuring all the participants' original work in their popular issues. We welcome you, Aisha ma'am.
And finally, we have Anupama Dalmia. She is a multiple award-winning blogger, author, serial entrepreneur with 3 ventures, social influencer, creative writing mentor, choreographer, and a mother to a 5-year-old. She is a Karamveer Chakra Silver Awardee, and she is a Shadows champion, where she motivates a community of 15 million women and is also an Amazon-approved blogger and influencer. She is the founder of Rhythm and Beats and Beyond the Box, and we are so happy to share that Beyond the Box, a popular platform for children and adults to share their thoughts through contests, challenges, and so much more, is our collaborator for today's event.
Thank you.
A hearty welcome to all our guests of honor and participants.
So, we all have heard about our guests of honor. Let's just quickly go through what we'll be doing today. So, today, as we all know, is a reading event for our World Children's Day special. We have all the children reading their allotted pages of the stories from My Act of Heart. And at the end of each story, we request the readers to share their names, city, class, and school.
So without further ado, let's begin with the first story in the 8 to 10 participants, A Race Lost Yet Won, written by Myra.
The 3 readers who will be reading the story are Shivansh, Gurnav, and Shreyan.
In this order itself, I would like Shrivansh to start.
Nani's house. Yay! I am so happy, Mama. Myra was exhilarated when I shared with her that my leave had been approved. It was months since we visited my mother's. Nani's stories and yummy dishes. Myra kept reiterating, almost like singing a song. The past few months had been hectic. Myra's school holidays and my work schedule somehow never got aligned. The result that we were visiting my mother after many months now. And my 6-year-old was beaming with joy. More so because this time it was a long break due to the Shera. I should make a list of all the things I will do there. And we will go to the Dashera ground. Mama, please say yes. Myra was now daydreaming. Delhi Dehradun is a little about 5 hours ride. Both of us enjoyed the highway route so much. The seamlessness of the drive without any punctuation of traffic lights, the company of the greens, and the colorful pit stops of dhabas all along the route. And the best part was keeping the windows open and letting the breeze caress us. So much fun! 1, 2, 3, 4. So many cars on the road. Myra was enjoying counting the cars on the road. And somehow they made me feel as if everyone was going on a vacation. And next moment, she was counting on her fingers. Naira, Zara, Avni, Raj, Siddharth, and Aradhya. I have so many friends in Nani's colony, she continued. Mama, I'm looking forward to meeting my friends in Nani's colony, especially Aradhya. A last sentence reminded me how my Myra had taught me a beautiful lesson 6 months ago when we were there. The memory just flashed in front of me. A sense of pride welled in my eyes. How as adults, we find it difficult, but children so easily exhibit their acts of compassion in testing times. My little one happens to be the youngest member of the children's colony gang there. During our last vacation, there had been many times when she had come back home with tears in her eyes, usually after a fight amongst the young friends. She often complained of being too small to participate in slightly grown-up games, which others played with ease and enjoyed very much. I never interfered too much as my belief in treating all children alike stems from the philosophy of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. The entire world is one family. That evening, she looked miserable and as howled and asked me to intervene. Like any parent would have in such circumstances, I was also moved by my daughter's tears. I was furious as to who had done this to her. I quickly rushed to the playing area with her and thought of taking charge of the playtime.
Hi, Shivansh. Hi, Shivansh. Thank you so much. I think we were so much enjoying your story that we didn't realize that Gurna was to read this page. Okay, thank you, Shivansh. We have to read the pages that have been allocated to us. Okay, boys and girls. But thank you, Shivansh. I would request Gurnav. Gurnav, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent, Gurnav. Let's move to the page which was allotted to you. Let's hear you reading from 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So many cars on the road. Myra was enjoying counting the cars on the road, and she somehow made me feel as if everyone was going on a vacation. And then the next moment, she was counting on her fingers. Naira, Zara, Avani, Raj, Siddharth, and Aradhya. I have so many friends in Nani's colony, she continued. Mama, I'm looking forward to meeting my friends in Nani's colony, especially Aradhya. Her last sentence reminded me of my Myra had taught me a beautiful lesson 6 months back when we were there. The memory just flashed in front of me. A sense of pride welled in my eyes. How, as adults, we often find it difficult, but children so easily exhibit such acts of compassion in testing times. My little one happens to be the youngest member of the children's colony gang there. During our last vacation, there had been many times where she had come back home with tears in her eyes, usually after a fight amongst the young friends. She often complained of being too small to participate in the slightly grown up games, which others played with ease and enjoyed very much. I never interfered too much, as in my belief in treating all children alike stems from the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire world is one family. That evening, she looked miserable and she howled and asked me to intervene. Like any parent, I would have in such circumstances. I was also moved by my daughter's tears. I was furious as to who had done this to her.
Great. Thank you so much, Gurna. Thank you. Let's move on to the next reader for the story. Shreyan.
Yes, ma'am. I was also moved by my daughter's tears. I was furious as to who had done this to her. I quickly rushed to the playing area with her and thought of taking charge of the playtime. I facilitated a race, very well aware of the fact that my child had been a gold medalist multiple times in school race competitions, with hope in my heart to let my little one feel like a champion in the otherwise lost battleground. I shouted, "Get, set, go!" All the children started running, and without any doubt, my child was as swift as an arrow. I was happy and relieved to have finally ensured her happiness. However, much to my surprise, I saw her stop in her tracks, look back, and loudly ask the last one in the race to catch up. Aradhya, this friend of hers, a little elder to her, had a wounded knee and was struggling to catch up badly. The next moment, unable to see her friend struggle and feel dejected,
I think Shreyan has a bad network. We'll just wait for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's stuck. So that's okay. I think he was towards the end of it. Gurna, would you like to just finish the story?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
sorry. I just got distracted.
Shreyan's back. Yeah. Please finish the story, Shreyan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. They didn't end first, however. The sight of her, sorry, I think I'm like, yes, I'll just continue. Sorry. Soon she caught hold of her friend's hand and started racing again, radiating happiness and confidence. They didn't end first, however. The sight of her tightly holding last one left me overwhelmed. That evening will always be special. While exhibiting leadership qualities of empathy and compassion, Myra had taught me so many things in her innocent ways, as if communicating the language of God through her beautiful action. How I wished we as adults could also keep it this simple. Yay, Nani's house. Here we are. Myra's loud shriek just pulled me out of my thoughts. We had reached. I looked at her and we both shouted, Yippee! Time to make some more special memories. Compassion in practice. Start a conversation with a friend of yours who struggles in some part of his or her life, studies, co-curricular activities, or anything else. Listen to them and offer them your help.
Wow, that was beautiful. And I can speak for everyone in this room and say that we all enjoyed it thoroughly.
Definitely.
And we would also like to hear some wonderful words from our guest of honor from WICCI, Dr. Uma. What did you love about the performance?
This was a wonderful story, very nicely read by the three children. I too read your entire book, actually. I was very, very moved by the book. Every single story brought some memory for me. So, be it about yourself, self-compassion, I thought that was a very important point. And then here, it is about helping a friend who is probably a little bit behind. And this is very important. All of us move in tandem, whether we are adults or children. We have to move with our peers and we have to make sure that everybody goes along with us. And in this context, I do remember a real life story. This happened in high school with a child I knew. The child was kind of very stressed about the board exam. And at some point, could not even come to school. Basically, the child was just staying at home. And then one of her friends actually decided that every morning she would take the effort to go to her house, her friend's house, be with her, and then go to the school bus stop and go to school with her. I thought this was a big effort on the part of the child who was doing it, because it was a very important year. Everybody was very busy studying, going to so many classes, board exams and all that. And basically the idea was to keep the child along with them, and several people in that class did try to. And these things are very important, and this is what motivates your friends, the others, to keep up with you, do the same things as with you, and leads to happiness for all. Instead of being totally competitive, being helpful is so important. It was a wonderful story, nicely read.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful words and that wonderful story. We all appreciate it. Next, I would like to start with the second story in the 8 to 10 category, The New Girl, written by Grace Tijo.
Yeah, Anisha, just before we go on to the next story, excuse me, I would like Gurnav, Shreyan, and Shivansh, who read the first story, to quickly introduce themselves as to which city are they from and which school, and of course their name, we all know. Yeah. Let's start with Shivansh. Shivansh, are you there? Yes.
Yes. Hello everyone, my name is Shivansh. I am from Delhi. My school is Mount Carmel, Anand Niketan, and I study in 4th class.
Great. And what about Gurna?
My name is Gurnav. I stay in Delhi. My school is Salwan Public School, Rajendra Nagar, and I like to draw, sing, cube, and play chess.
All right, thank you. And Shreya?
Yes, so my name is Shreyan Garg. I am a 9-year-old boy about to turn 10 in January. So I study in the Delhi Public School, Rohini. I live in Delhi. And I also have some hobbies. My hobbies are like, I also solve cubes, and I also like to play chess. I love reading books.
That's amazing, Shreyan. We're so happy to have you all here today. Now let's begin with the second story. That is The New Girl, written by Grace Tijo. And the two readers I would like to invite are Roopsi and Dutvik.
Let's hear Roopsi now. Oh, I'm so sorry for the confusion. It's actually Rupak. We would like to hear Rupak start the first story.
The New Girl. Compassion towards family and friends. This is the story of me helping my now best friend when she had enrolled in my school. It was a pretty normal day in first grade. I woke up to my mother shaking me and got dressed, then came to school. But I guess that's how all special days start. Normal. Deepali, when she came to first grade, had no place to sit as it was the middle of the year. No one wanted to sit with her because then everyone already had friends, or perhaps they did not want to risk changing a teacher assigned partner. No one except me. I guess I was the teacher's pet. Come and sit with me, I offered her to sit with me, as my partner was absent. She followed me to my desk and kept crying. We both took our seats, and to break the ice, I again started the conversation with her. What is your name? Deepali, she said in the feeblest voice, and with her head down. She kept crying, and I thought she was hurt with the indifferent behavior of our children, our class. Why are you crying, Deepali? You will soon make a lot of friends. I am missing my mama. I want to go to her. As we were talking, our teacher came to the class and introduced Deepali to the class. Her English wasn't the greatest within the cemented walls of a convent school, though the class teacher.
I would like Prithvi to continue. Prithvi, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now, please go ahead.
Conversations towards family and friends taught her how to explain her vocabulary, yet it didn't help much. Everyone bullied her. I think even the teacher were annoyed at her when she did not respond more often than not. But even true, everyone seemed mean to her. She always remained nice to everyone. We aren't doing right to her. What if I had been in her shoes? How would I felt? I thought, and I felt miscribing on that truth. The truth was, anyone would have had they been in Dipali's place, and I felt miscribing on that thought. I motivated one of my other friends, Nija. She and I reached out to Dipali. We were one of the only ones who did. We could see the happiness in Dipali's eyes when we started talking to her. From that day onwards, Neeraj and I would talk to Dipali on frequent basis. In fact, the class teacher oftenly made us sit together. Since she cried every day, the other girls in class called her a crybaby and would
I think Ditvi is facing some connection issues. Let's just wait for 2 minutes for her to join back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. You can start again.
Since she cried every day, the other girls in class called her a crybaby and would often walk off. There was nothing new about crying on the first day. I had seen most of them do it on the first day of KG. Some of them cried for months, and yet they would tease her merely one grade later. I hated it. I would point out the fact that they cried too, but who listened? After a few weeks, I too started to get annoyed of taking care of Dipali. I asked the class teacher why she had made me sit with her. She said that I was because she knew I was the only one who could help her. That was more or less true. Things did not get easier for her until the summer vacations, but her English had greatly improved, and the teacher was not annoyed at her as often. By now, we had become friends. I really hope I really hoped that she would fix her sewing by the end of the vacation. Thankfully, she did. A few weeks after school started, our teacher written a summer homework, and Dipali had done well. Ma'am praised her in class and gave her a big pat on her back. Dipali was super happy, and suddenly everyone wanted to be friends with her. She now got used to the other girls in class and started trusting them. We were still friends, of course, but we weren't that close anymore. Then, when we went to second grade, we were again in the same class, and our teacher made us partners. That's when we become best friends. I am now in the seventh grade, and Dipali and I continue to remain best friends. And I know that it is how we will stay. Thank you.
That was absolutely great. We loved your performance, Rupak and Ritvi. Thank you so much. And I hope all the guests of honors are keeping their track of the readers and their performances. So now let's talk a bit about My Act of Heart, the book. Anjali ma'am and Deepika ma'am, let's hear from you. What was your experience while you were in the process of publishing this book? What was the inspiration behind the book? We all want to know. Let's hear it from you.
So, yeah, I think I'll let Deepika start because it all happened with as simple as a WhatsApp message that she had shared on one of the common groups that we happen to be. And, she just messaged that she's wanting to compile such a work, and any thoughts, ideas would be welcome. And that's when I really resonated that I should reach out to her. And it's very interesting that we hadn't met once. It was just that because we are tied by a cause, and we felt that compassion is something that needs to be spoken about and shared wide across, that we happened to be on that group. I hadn't met her, I didn't know her much, but I just responded to her that, hey Deepika, I saw this message and I would love to talk about it and see what all we can do together. And that's how the that journey started from there. Deepika?
Yeah, and since then it has been beautiful. And Pritika, as you asked, the inspiration. So inspiration was also like just my son, as I used to watch him doing, certain things that would bring warmth to my heart. I just started writing a journal about it. And then I realized there would be, more parents and more kids who would be doing such acts every day. So I just thought, why not just convert it into a book and give voice to all such parents and all such kids so that others can be inspired.
Yeah, that's how the journey started, Pritika. And then once it started, there was no looking back, as in that whosoever we reached out to, and many of the champions, our ambassadors, are here with us, Anu, Rohini, Esha, that whosoever we reached out to, we spoke to, was very happy and interested in being a part of the project. We spoke on we connected on social media, we reached out to our networks, with the Charter for Compassion, which is an organization which is present worldwide, and everybody kind of received the idea and the thought with such warmth and encouragement. And that's how, like we see, one thing leads to another thing, and a chain is formed. So we had so many of kids like we have today in this Zoom room get connected with us from all across the world, share their acts of compassion. Sometimes it was the parents, sometimes it was the educators who gave words to their acts. Sometimes it was just a sharing on the call that, hey, this is something that we loved and we would like to have this as a story. And that's how my Act of Heart is here. And it feels so good that now it's reaching out to so many other kids, and we are reading the stories and celebrating compassion.
Thank you so much for telling us how just a message turned into this wonderful book. We all loved hearing about it. And I think let's move on to a quick icebreaker now.
Yes, definitely. So all around us, we see acts of compassion, we see kindness. I know it's not very prevalent, but it is there. There is compassion in each and every one of us. And I'm sure many of you would have had such experiences. So now let's hear from one of our guests of honors, Anupama Aunty. So what is compassion for you, especially as a writer? Have you had any experiences that you would say were heartfelt or compassionate?
I think as a writer, we keep having such moments of, heartfelt interactions with readers, with fellow writers. I think compassion to me, very simply put, is to be sensitive to the other person. And I think more than anything, a lot of people keep asking me the difference between sympathy, empathy. And I always say that, in the latter is when you actually convert your emotion into action. I think when we sympathize with people, we probably just pity and go away. But when we are compassionate, when we are empathetic, there is an urge from within to actually make things better and feel for the person. We see, I always say that, we can never be in somebody else's shoes, literally, right? Like whatever someone is in a certain position or going through. But yes, to at least make that effort to, tell people that, yes, I understand and I feel for you. I think that feeling itself and that understanding itself to me is compassion. So yeah, to be sensitive towards others, think about them. And I always tell my daughter also, since we're talking about kids, that the best way to know whether you are being compassionate or not is that, I know she's just given a peek of herself the moment I called out her name, is that you put yourself in the other person's situation and see that if somebody else would have behaved like that with you or said that to you, how would you have felt? And so that will give you a perspective on, yeah, probably what I'm doing is not really a good thing to do or not a good thing to say. And I truly feel that in today's times, when I hear so many kids saying things like, I don't care, or this is not a big deal, I truly feel we need to have more conversations around compassion and kindness, because not that the kids definitely give us hope, and I see they're so responsible, so sensible, yet somewhere I feel, because of the times we are in, with so much technology and everything else around them, reminders are very important, to keep reminding them to be grateful, to acknowledge their privileges. I think that is a very important aspect of being compassionate, acknowledging one's own privileges and realizing that, yes, I have this, and it just, can't be very high-handed about it. So yeah, that's what I would say. And I think this book is a fantastic attempt. Once again, congratulations to the entire team. Of course, at BTB also, we've been doing so much to, make this book reach out to so many kids. But yeah, I just hope it reaches out far and wide, because it deserves to. you, and the stories are all so amazing. In fact, they stay with you. I still remember, my daughter has read this like many, many days ago. But even now, when a child was reading, she immediately recognized the story. Oh, this is the one in which, they call her a crybaby. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm impressed. So the stories have that stay. And I think that is, what makes this a winner. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I hope I could, maybe kind of make people think a little bit on what compassion is and what empathy is. And thank you so much, kids, for that lovely reading, and I'm looking forward to the further performances as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful words.
Definitely. Yours, all you say, it's absolutely mesmerizing, and we're so grateful to have you here today. I'm being so honest. You really do light up the whole thing.
Oh, how sweet.
We have a lot of fans for you.
Oh,
Anupama.
thank you.
All right, so let's move on with our final story in the 8 to 11 years category, The Joy of Giving by Ananya Trivedi. The three readers are Myra, Kabir, and Aryan. And in this order itself, I would like Myra to start.
Yeah. I just want to add here, Anisha, that Myra couldn't join us. So Aryan will start the story, and then he can move on to his allocated pages as well. So over to Aryan.
Great. So Aryan, let's start.
I was excited for my 9th birthday. That was round the corner. As a 9-year-old, I would feel like a princess on this day, getting pampered and showered with beautiful gifts by all family members and friends. The last year, just before I entered the club of double digits, I was so much looking forward to it. My grandparents, who were as excited as I was, asked me what I would like to take as a gift from them. After thinking a lot, I told them to give me whatever they pleased, as I enjoyed getting surprises. Finally, it was 12 a.m. of March 26th. Hurriedly, I went to my table to check all the gifts I had got. I was amazed to see a beautiful stuffed toy, a bicycle, a glitter pen set, and then my eyes fell on the gift from my grandparents. I unwrapped it and found a diary with a note, "The Compassionate Girl," written on it, and a pack of 100 seeds. Honestly, I was disappointed with the gift and didn't quite like it. I didn't hesitate to show my disappointment to my grandparents too. Calmly, they advised me to read the book at least once. I denied and went to my room in anger. While sleeping, I kept wondering about the reason for such a gift and slept off while thinking. Incidentally, that night I had a nightmare wherein the jungles had disappeared. Animals were on the roads, with a few of them getting extinct. The entire world was barren without any trees. There was no sight of human beings. The next morning, when I woke up, I had understood the use of those seeds. I thanked my grandparents and apologized for my behavior. I went to the garden, planted all the seeds, and took care of them. I watered them every day and applied fertilizers. It was an amazing feeling to see my hard work coming out as saplings from the ground. I shared my joy with my grandparents and asked them again about the book and how would it help me. They reassured me that I would learn that too. After a few days, I went to them complaining that I was unable to understand that still. My grandfather held my hand and made me sit next to him. He asked me in a loving tone, Do you know what compassion is? No, I said. How did you feel when you planted the trees? I felt great, but it was tiring. What was your thought behind planting these trees? After a little thought, I said, nothing. I just wanted to do my bit for the Mother Earth. He nodded and smiled at me. His questions didn't end there. How will you feel when you eat the fruit of the trees you had planted? I had never thought about it, but imagining myself eating the fruits brought a smile on my face, and I promptly said, that will make me feel good and refreshing. And what if you don't get any fruits from these trees? Will you feel that your efforts are wasted? He asked. No, because my intent was not to have fruits, but to do something for the environment, I said and added. But yes, fruits will be like a reward for me and will definitely make me happy. Grandpa said with sparkling eyes, that, my dear, is compassion. When you do something for someone without thinking about an outcome for yourself and without any self interest, that's compassion. He further added, and the good news is that the outcome is always good when we do something compassionate, just like the sweet fruits. I understood the meaning of compassion. My grandfather praised me for my act of compassion and kissed me on my forehead. I believe that compassion can't be taught. It is a quality that all human beings possess naturally. We just need a trigger, the way I got from my grandfather. All we need is to listen to our hearts. After learning about compassion, I started planting trees on every birthday, and I have been celebrating my birthday with my friends in an orphanage since then. The joy of giving unfolded the path of compassion and taught me how creating smiles is far more joyous than looking for happiness for oneself. Try it yourself. The feeling is incredibly wonderful.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Kabir and Aryan. I would like both of you to introduce yourselves. Aryan?
My name is Aryan. I study in Tagore International School. I live in New Delhi. I'm 8 years old, 8.5.
Great. And Kabir?
My name is Kabir Dixit. I am 8 years old and I study in Bar Bharati Public School, Pitampura in class 3rd. I love to dance and I am a brown belt in karate. Thank you.
All right. Before we move on, I would like Aisha ma'am to share what she liked about the story and the narration.
You know, I just went back to my childhood. I had a champa tree. There was a champa tree in my grandparents' home, and I was to spend my vacations there. And I used to read books sitting on that champa tree. If you have observed a champa tree, it has great branches, very comfortable branches. You can sit on it. It's not very high in length. Also, you can climb it easily. And I just went back all those memories when this story was read. And my grandparents taught me, basically, though the story said that you can't teach compassion, but I learned so much about compassion through watching my grandparents tend to their garden with so much of love and care. And I still remember my grandparents had, basically allotted a place, a small place area in where all the plants were in their garden, where we can play, so that we don't kill the shrubs when the tending to all those plants that my grandmother would do. So yes, this story invoked my childhood memories and taught me. I have learned so much by tending to plants about compassion and being kind.
Yeah, in fact, I feel just to add to Isha, I think tending to nature can be such a great way to instill, I think, this compassion in everybody. I just somehow always feel that that is that's why I think it's great to involve kids also in I think this aspect, and like Isha, even I went back to, my childhood days. I think we all have such kind of memories.
So true. And Arya and Kabir, you read the story so well. I was imagining, the entire, I think I went back also, and this entire thing, there was a vision of the entire thing happening, very well read. Congratulations, both of you, and all the readers in this other story that was read before as well. Good job. And thank you, Anjali, Deepika, you are doing amazing work. I'm so happy that today I could be part of this event. And as a representative of my paper, we want to promote reading because we feel, even we were so sad during these times of pandemic when we had to make my paper digital and we could not print it. We strongly, strongly believe in the power of paper, and, it should be so much so that though it is a digital world, but we would like to promote more and more children picking up books and reading, writing, and sharing their work with us. Thank you.
And gardening too. Maybe everybody should have a garden patch.
Yes.
A small part of it, and grow some plants.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So true.
Great. This was certainly very interactive.
Thank you, Isha, for those wonderful words. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So lovely to know that the story made you go back in time, because that's what is the magic of stories, right? To help us time travel, move places, move in time. So great. I think with this, we kind of wrap up this category. Yeah. I would like to have Guneet. Guneet, are you there? Thank you, Precious Pen. Of course, thank BTB and Sailing Leave, who have been partners with us. Guneet, are you there? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, then Pritika and Anisha, let's move on.
All right, it's now time for a beautiful storytelling by our master storyteller, Rohini Jayanti ma'am. We have all been looking forward to this, and we're honored to invite her.
Definitely. So Rohini ma'am, let's start. We're really excited.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy and so excited to see all the beautiful faces and my lovely dear ones, Anupama, Anjali, Pritika, my dearest one. Thank you so very much for this wonderful opportunity, for this wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, I can say. I don't know how far I would be doing justice to that beautiful story written by Kushi and Ashi, but I would try my best. So before we get into the story, shall we do 2 minutes of mindfulness? Okay. So all of you close your eyes, sit in your comfortable positions and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Remember that moment, that incident, that situation in your life wherein you have been kind to someone, wherein you have been compassionate to someone. Could be your friend, could be your family, or could be anyone around you. Remember that moment wherein someone else have been compassionate and kind to you. It could be an act of kindness, a small gesture, a kind word. Experience the moment, how you would have felt. Remember that moment or a situation wherein you wanted to show that gesture or that act of kindness, but you have not yet. And you're waiting for a second chance in your life. to show that love of compassion and kindness. Try to keep it in mind that when you are going to get that situation, come across that situation another time, you will definitely take that opportunity. Stay with the moment. Now take both your hands onto your heart. Keep your hands on your heart and say to yourself an affirmation. I am kind. Say to yourself, I am kind. And pat your heart with one hand and say, I have a kind heart. Say to yourself, I have a kind heart. And give a hug to yourself with a slight twist at your waist. Say, I chose kindness. Always and every time. I chose kindness. And with this positive affirmation, gently open your eyes. Thank you so much. Kindness is so beautiful. Kindness, kindness, wherever you find this, you will see the world a better place. Kindness, kindness, whenever you try this, you will see a smile on someone's face. You can try it anytime. You can plant it where you want. You can grow it in your heart and give it to everyone. And this story is about two children, Khushi and her little sister Ashi. It was a bright sunny morning. The sun rose high up in the sky. The flowers started blooming on the trees and the plants. The little birds started chirping on the trees. The rainy season has gone forever, and it is winter and sunny that day. Khushi and her little sister Ashi were preparing to go where? To represent their school at Itihas Anveshan competition that has been organized by their school that year. Every year they had a different theme. And this year, the theme was inclusion of specially abled kids in all the fields. They had sumptuous breakfast prepared by their mama and were ready to go to the school. And off they set to the school. Their teacher and the mentor, Neetu Madam, along with the peers, were waiting for them at the school. The school staff, in fact, invited all of them. And they gave introduction about their school and the theme and everything else. Just then, Khushi's sister Ashi caught a glimpse of two girls, Umang and Mansi. And Umang and Mansi were also studying at their school because some of the children of that blind school were studying at regular schools also. So the story is a day at the blind school. Yes, this time, as part of that particular project, inclusion of the specially abled kids, Neetu Madam, their mentor, have taken them to a blind school, to learn about what inclusion actually is, to learn about the experiences of the children who are visually impaired, and to imbibe and inculcate that particular concept of inclusion. As she was not a part of the competition, so she thought of spending her entire day with her lovely friends, Umang and Mansi. She was very excited to see them. She just rushed towards them and hugged them. Umang and Mansi heard Ashi's voice and were equally excited. They were so happy that Ashi came all the way to visit them and is going to spend the whole day with them. And in the meantime, the rest of the children, along with Kushi, went on a tour across the school. They have seen lots of children who are visually impaired, who are trying to learn Braille with a lot of dedication, with a lot of determination, with a lot of contentment. They saw some of the students struggling to learn, some of the children able to do it pretty well. They had lots of learnings, lots of takeaways throughout the journey in the school. And it was after some time that they assembled at one place, and their teacher, Neetu ma'am, was asking them about their experiences, their learnings. And everyone was discussing. Everyone was deeply involved in the conversations when suddenly Kushi's attention caught Ashi, her little sister, who was totally involved with her friends Umang and Mansi. Her joy knew no bounds. She came to her mother, picked up some candies and some sweets, went to them and gave them that. Though they could not see the beautiful colors of the sweets and the candies, they gulped them and they could experience the taste of it. And happiness was shown on their faces. Ashi had no discrimination that they were visually impaired. She was very fond of them and she loved them selflessly. And while Kushi was observing all this, something flashed across her mind. She questioned, why were we here? What are we up to? We have come here to learn what inclusion is, to learn what compassion is, and how do we have to implement all these things. But Ashi, her little sister, was already living with that inclusion. Those three friends were engrossed in lots of conversations, though could not be heard by them, but she could see. She understood. Amidst the darkness that has surrounded the lives of the visually impaired, Kushi was a small ray of light of hope. We could see lots of colors in life. The colors of the color of the sky, the colors of the trees, the beautiful flowers, the beautiful butterflies. But what are the true colors of life? The true colors of life are kindness, compassion, love, and many more. And that is what Kushi has realized. It is because Ashi was not taught about compassion, but she had compassion in her heart. It grew within her automatically, just like a small sapling, and it is going to grow forever. And the day has come to an end, and everybody had to leave. Ashi went to her friends to bid them a farewell and promised them that she would be coming to meet them again for Diwali, and also promised them that she would be taking them out on their birthdays. And as promised, every year, Ashi used to do that. And Kushi, Ashi, along with her mother, moved out, and way back home, Kushi started gazing high up into the sky, watching all the trees and leaves, but something else was running in her mind. That's about true happiness. If you really bring upon a smile on somebody's face, that is true happiness, that is true compassion, and how beautiful it is. without any expectation, without expecting any outcome. A selfless deed, if you do to somebody else, that's really going to give a true happiness. And Kushi and Ashi, as promised to Umang and Mansi, every year used to go out along with their friends, Umang and Mansi, on their birthdays, and used to celebrate Diwali with them and had a happy life. And children, before ending this particular story, I would like to show you a small thing. Can you all see this paper? Yes.
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 We all human beings, or anybody for that matter, animals, birds, we are all, in need of the dots, the colors which I'm showing on this paper are the people or the animals or anything in the nature that is in need. It could be in need of compassion. It could be in need of kindness. Somebody might need a warm hug. Somebody might need a shoulder to lean upon. Somebody might need a lending hand. Somebody might need a listening ear. And we, that is you, are this magic sprinkler. You're filled with compassion within you. You're filled with kindness. You're filled with love. Everything. What all you can do is just sprinkle the magic around you and see what happens. It spreads. It spreads. It spreads. And as you sprinkle, the magic spreads and spreads. And you can see love all around you. You can see compassion all around you. You can see kindness all around you. It is that small act of magic which you do in your regular lives, in your daily lives. Could be anything. You will see the magic of compassion and kindness and love all around you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, my act of heartness, Anjali, Deepika, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share this little story. It's really wonderful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Rohini. It was so beautiful the way you narrated this story.
I agree.
Goosebumps.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say we all are absolutely mesmerized. If anyone would like to say anything.
I loved Rohini's end also, the way she showed how it spreads. I think that was so, because I think that is all about acts of compassion, that it spreads. And, especially when I remember telling Anjali that, putting this in a book is really good because it will inspire many, and it's not even a book. I think even in our daily lives, like I remember one incident when my daughter was much younger, during one of her birthdays, she told us that I want to share the cake with the kids who are outside the community, the underprivileged. And I was very surprised, but then I realized that she had seen her father doing it. So my husband has this habit of going and sharing food, and if he sees somebody who doesn't seem like somebody who's eaten or whatever, like he would just go and buy them something. And she had seen that, and somewhere, so whether it be in family or in the friend circle or even strangers, sometimes we may see strangers doing something really, it may seem small, but for the person we are doing this to, it is really big. And I think this story also kind of brings that out so beautifully. And again, like how Rohini, I like there's no doubt that Rohini is so good at what she does, but yeah, it was truly beautiful. So thank you, Rohini, and I would like to thank Ashi and Khushi, their story also for sharing that. It is for everybody, not just for kids, because I think even adults, we need to be the right role models, right? So we just cannot keep telling kids to be compassionate. We have to also keep doing those small things, and yeah, everybody will learn and everybody will see, and there'll be so much joy around. I think that is what compassion at the end of the day is aiming to, I think that's what we're aiming to achieve, right? Like to spread that joy and that love. So yeah, I really liked it, Rohini.
Thank you so much, Anupama. Lovely to hear.
Yeah, the story was very moving and so nicely presented by Rohini. One thing I wanted to highlight was something she also said: compassion is there within us.
Yes.
And that's why it's so important to focus on it while you're to children when they're young, and nurture it, given some expression, So many times I have myself heard, you know, when going on the street or something, I mean, don't look at them, don't give anything to them, just go away, right? So we should not do that. We should encourage the children to express their compassion and do it ourselves. That's so important.
I would just like to add here that Khushi is with us.
Oh.
Khushi and Khushi, the two sisters that we just read the story of. Khushi, can you switch on your camera?
Lovely, lovely.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Nice to
So-
see you, Khushi.
That was a wonderful story written by you. And when I asked Anjali, can you share some of the stories you love? She shared a couple of stories, and this story was the first story I read from the book, and it did not leave me at all. Though I was, reading other stories and wanted to present today, but this story was on my mind continuously. So I thought I had to do this. Lovely story, Khushi, and hope I did some little bit of justice to your story.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Beautifully written, Khushi. Congratulations for this. Beautifully written.
Thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ashi couldn't join us. She's met with an accident, so she's recovering for that. But so happy to have Khushi with us and her story being read and performed by Rohini. So Rohini, that was awesome. It was
Such
so
a beautiful
heartwarming.
story.
Thank you so much.
Do pass on Ashi our wishes and hope she recovers soon.
Yes.
Khushi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, I think this
So
is
before we move to the next category, I think Guneet is with us. Guneet, we keep missing.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Hi, good to see you, Guneet.
Hello. Hi, everyone. So good to be here today. So this, I think my son was really too happy over the board to be here, and the filter that he has used, I have to go ahead with that. Okay, so congratulations once again for my act of heart to Charter of Compassion to Anjali. And I'm so stoked, so happy to be here and presenting, giving my students over here from Precious Pen for my, the cause for my act of heart. And it's a lovely book. I got to have hands on it. This is the book, and it's a wonderful book, teaching children the values which actually get missed in day-to-day lives. And each story is actually thought upon. It has feelings of compassion, it has feelings of empathy. When we talk about compassion, empathy, it doesn't come actually naturally. It comes from right upbringing, it comes from right experiences that we have, and then when we act upon it, then it moves on towards being compassion from just about caring for someone. So this is about the book, and all the kids over here, those who have spoken, they have spoken so well. They have actually enlivened the stories, and I'm really glad to be associated today with you.
Thank you, Guneet. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have Precious Pen with us. So it was so wonderful having the kids read. Thank you so much.
wonderful. Okay, I think it's safe to say that we are all absolutely mesmerized. That was a really good performance. Thank you so much, Rohini ma'am. Now let's move on. So, Anisha, remember how you said that you didn't get quite good marks in your maths test? Well, now you and Rhea are going to read the story, The Math Score. Maybe reading the story will help you change your perspective about it and make you feel better. So the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Pritika. The math score. Woohoo! I am so happy. I could scream. Eee! I scored 24.5, so technically full on full. Mom had promised me that if I get a full or almost full this time, I may get an iPad. Meera was bouncing around me, broadcasting her score, practically dancing. How much did you get? Tell, please. Meera was now making the puppy dog face, which is supposed to convince me to tell my score, but I just wasn't in the mood. I hated this. I could tell her to stop, but what about Sanvi, Saloni, and Neha? They won't listen to me. Oh, I just wanted to go home. I felt like I was gonna cry. Well, my score wasn't like theirs at all. It had never been since class 4 had started. No, I had scored well in the first term, though not a full score still. Miss Meena was our teacher then. I used to love Miss Meena's class. She explained all the concepts so well and played games where we had to apply the concepts. A class of hers could turn a totally exhausting and gloomy day into the best one ever. And all the questions looked so easy after that. In fact, the first time in my life, I had actually started to enjoy maths as a subject. Then, sadly, Miss Meena had to shift to another state. Thanks to her husband being in the army, she had to get a posting every 2 years. And unfortunately, this was their second year in Delhi. Miss Meena had to leave for Jammu and Kashmir. Then Miss Tara joined as a replacement. And oh God, her class felt like we all needed to catch a bus. No, not even a bus, a train. We had finished 3 chapters in a week, and that too the toughest ones. No one understood anything, even though we all nodded in the class. Well, Miss Tara had to leave soon, and then Miss Chanda joined. And with her entry, it was 3 maths teachers in 3 months. She was the strictest teacher we had ever had. Missing even a single day of homework or classwork resulted in a good scolding. And even when we all were perfectly quiet, she frowned for no reason. And in fact, I had never seen her smile. Miss Chanda had a peculiar habit of making all the students who got 22 or more on a test to stand up to receive an applause from the class. A score of 20 to 22 got a worthy mention, and if you scored below 20, oh my God, you also had to stand, but not for applause or a mention, but another scolding. I dreaded even the thought of it. I had scored 15. I wanted to escape this, but it seemed difficult. Maths was the last period of the day, and what I feared did happen. I was aghast. This had never ever happened to me. First the score, then name calling, and finally letting me know how disappointing it was. Even when the school ended that day, Miss Chanda's words kept ringing in my ears again and again. I was continuously thinking about the score only. Mom also had high hopes for me. And now what would mom say? In fact, everyone had. I was an A student overall, but now because of this and whatever had been happening with maths, they were all silly mistakes, but nevertheless, that was the score. And now I myself had started believing that maybe I wasn't an A student, and maybe even a B or a C, and my worst fear, a D. As I boarded the school bus, I kept making plans and strategies as to what I would tell mom and how I would do it in all of this coaxing myself.
But you desire to be your secretary.
Priya, I think your network is bad or something. We can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
Your voice is cracking. Could you try changing your network? We'll just wait for 2 minutes for Ria to join back.
Yeah, she's joined back. I think it should be okay now. Yeah, Ria?
Ma'am, are you able to hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
very
I
well.
can hear you now.
Okay. One. Can I continue?
Sure, go ahead.
Why had maths become my pain point? Why couldn't I score well? Will I ever score better? Miss Chanda seemed to have lost all hopes in me. To add fuel to fire, Shubhra Didi, 2 years senior to me, also boasted about her math scores that day in the bus, and we weren't even in the same class. Everyone wanted to know mine, but I kept quiet. Mom wasn't at home when I reached back. I told Didi and Dadi that I didn't want to eat lunch. I just wanted to flop myself on the bed and not get up. No TV also. Something which I loved doing as the first thing after returning back from school every day for at least 1 hour. I just felt like being alone with no distractions. I didn't want to change too. I threw my bag in one corner, shoes in the other, and there went the bottle just took just took to my bed. I was sulking. What was happening to me? Whatever it was, didn't feel right. Dadi was concerned. She kept asking me something had happened at school. Didi brought a thermometer to check the temperature, but I said I was fine. Mom was called to let her know that I wasn't having lunch. And then, while I was in that sulking mood, my younger brother switched on the TV. He couldn't eat his lunch without TV. And I think to help me, he started playing Frozen movie, my favorite, even though he never missed an opportunity to play his over mine every time. I think the comforting voice of my favorite characters helped me calm down a bit. Something made me think, why was I scolding myself so much? Was it really such a big deal? I was now thinking logic and feeling better, but still not enough to pull me out of the bed and just leave that spiraling thought. And then I caught the sight of a new book Mom had bought me had bought for me last Sunday. It seemed irresistible to not pay attention to it. I love reading books and figured if anything, this might cheer me up. This might cheer up a bit. I quickly jumped and grabbed it. When mom came back from work, I had already finished a quarter of it, and I must confess that I was feeling much better. And finally, I thought that the maths monster was a puzzle that I could solve. A voice inside me said, there were many math exams waiting for me to score better. And with this, finally felt better. Just then, mom came home. Hey, honey, how are you? Why are you not eating? Should we see the doctor? Mom just kept saying things one after the other. I had made her very anxious. She had skipped one of her meetings too. I got my math scores today. Instead of saying anything else, I just forwarded the test notebook towards her. Mom started flipping the pages to see the latest score. I fumbled. My voice was feeble, but more than guilty, I was feeling positive and determined. I know, Mom, it has been decreasing from 22 to 20 and now 15. I shall try harder next time. Mom had nothing else to say. Of course, honey, you will. This is just one maths exam. There are many to come. When you can, score better. Come on, change and let's have lunch along with your favorites, Olaf, Elsa, and Anna together. And she hugged and comforted me as we went to watch TV together. I had learned a life lesson that day. Whenever you feel bad and guilty of not scoring that perfect score, just pick up something you really love to do. Book, TV, or even music instead of berating yourself. It surely helps. Compassion in practice. We easily blame ourselves and feel guilty when we don't get a good score. Even before we realize, this state takes control over our mind and actions. But it doesn't help. Think of something which isn't going as per your expectations currently. Consciously stop yourself by doing something which relaxes you and makes you easy on yourself. Remember, self compassion comes before anything else. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Anisha and Rhea. This story is one of my favorites, and I always enjoy listening and reading to it.
I think this event is turning out to be a blast and really good. I cannot wait for what's coming next. So let's get to it. I would now like to invite Sanandini, Hunar, and Kashvi to read a beautiful story, Sunshine Letters by Eilish Ryan. Sanandini, go ahead.
Yes, so I shall be reading page number 34 and 35, so I'll begin. Sorry. It was one of the most beautiful long weekends in Australia. You know, one of those when you plan and actually get to travel. I had my bags packed literally 2 weeks ahead of it. The schools were shut for 3 days, and we were driving to Melbourne from Ballarat to meet one of our family friends. I was super excited as I would be meeting Karen after 2 years. Karen and I had been childhood friends before her father's work and made them move to Melbourne. You know how it feels, right? When you're meeting your childhood buddy after such a long time. It is a different kind of happiness. Trekking, shopping, baking together, board games, and camping overnight. Me and Karen had everything planned to the core. It is an almost 3-hour drive from my hometown Ballarat to Melbourne, and it was in its last quarter as we had entered Melbourne. Suddenly, my seamless view of verdancy and fantasizing about the plans got snapped. It seemed someone abruptly pulled the brakes of my imagination and deliberately threw blotches of black on the canvas of my view. Mom, look there. What are these people doing? I literally pushed my mother's face towards me, forcing her to look outside in the direction of my window sight. Why are they sleeping on the footpath? Mom looked at me and caressed my hair. She had a helpless look in her eyes. They have no homes, Eilish. They're forced to stay like this, she replied. No homes? But why? Mom tried to answer and explain her best, but my mind remained fogged with the memory of the sight. Same seemed, as per what Mom told me, there are homeless people everywhere. Maybe I had seen them before, maybe not, but this was the first time I'd consciously seen and felt like this. I was sad. I was troubled. I had lots of questions. Even after reaching Karen's, the swarm of questions kept making me restless. I even shared with her what I saw and how I felt, but it seemed Karen wasn't interested to talk about it. She heard, but was too excited to meet us, such that she dismissed everything in a jiffy. Staying alone, and that too like this, what must they be feeling? If the mere sight of them made me so restless, how would it be like with them? I couldn't have thought how seeing something that day, which was a common sight for many people otherwise, would bring such a major turn in my life. I wanted to do something for them. A voice inside me nagged. What could I do? I was just a young child. But something deep inside me kept making me uncomfortable for many days. I took, and that's where it ends actually. Thank you.
I took the first step once the fog cleared a little bit, and I wrote a letter to my teacher, Miss Joe. Miss Joe, do we not feel full of hope and positivity upon receiving a letter? I'd like to start the Sunshine Letters campaign, just like the sun, which fills us with warmth and light. Perhaps letters from different places and from various people can bring a ray of happiness for the homeless. I believe that with this, I can bring a sliver of happiness to people who are lonely, brighten their day to keep them warm and happy. Miss Joe loved it. I knew she would. No, not because she was my favorite. She was everyone's favorite. And above all, she was very passionate about the cause of social justice. She always had time to hear what her students had to share with an open heart and mind, and also guide us to always feel and think for others and do something for them. So, Ailish, what color should we paint the little box? Dad asked me after both of us put up a box and stationed it right at the front of our home. Yellow, like the sunshine. Yellow for hope and smile. That was very quick and clear, Ailish. Dad patted on my back. The box was painted yellow, and I wrote, "Dear friend, waiting to hear from you." Things were looking clear now, and I already was feeling a lot better with each step. The next day, I invited kids and adults to write letters or draw pictures and drop them in the little box. The hope was that they would write letters that provided sunshine for those who needed it. And then, in a few days, for the first time, the letterbox was full of letters. I was exhilarated, but also a little scared because it was time to get these letters to those for whom they were meant for. How would they take this gesture from a stranger? I was nervous. Would my letters hold value, or would they just be thrown away as mere pieces of paper? We visited Shawa and Shop soup buses that day. You know, these are the places that homeless in my city visit to get access to food and shower. People were lined up as they waited for their turns. I felt like being on the stage, ready for my performance. You know that butterflies in the stomach feeling? But it was just for a moment.
Kashvi? Kashvi, can you carry on? Isn't Kashvi here?
I don't think Kashvi is here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think I can carry on.
Yes, yes. Go
Once
ahead.
I saw them again, something in me told me why I was there, and I knew what to do. "Hi, I'm Ailish." I reached out to an old man, who would be my grandfather's age, or at least that's what it looked like from his wrinkled face, stooped figure, and a little shaky hand. "Hello, Ailish. I am William. What brings you here, little girl?" His voice trembled a little, but his eyes were lit up. "A sunshine letter for you, sir." I handed one to him. He opened it instantly, even keeping his food plate aside for a moment. His smile widened as he opened the letter. Once the letter was stretched into its full grandeur, his smile morphed into a hearty laugh. He read it once, then again, and then once more time. It was like the same with everyone. The joy on their faces took care of all my fears. My letters were doing some sort of magic. Were they like Harry Potter's wand or one of his magic spells? Whatever it was contagious. Everyone was laughing as if they hadn't in many days. Ailish let me click a few pictures. The stall is now all decked up. My work with the homeless and the idea of sunshine letters had started to get attention. We had a letter box at school, and Miss Jo was trying to involve other children and schools too. Today, we were at the Compassion Ballarat Walk, where we had set up a sunshine letter stall. The idea was that people who walked could stop and share a few positive thoughts for those who needed the comfort and warmth of the words. The response was overwhelming. "Hi, I'm Garcia. Can I write?" I had noticed how Miss Garcia had come back after looking at the stall once. She wanted to write, but something was stopping her. She wrote one letter quickly before setting off on the compassion walk. As if it wasn't enough, she came back and wrote a longer letter and burst into tears. Those were tears of repentance and shame. Her dad had been homeless for years. She wrote in her letter how much she repented this. And she could have done something when he was alive. I hugged my mom tight. That day, I realized how important it was to express gratitude and do something when our loved ones were around us. It's been 2 years since the day I had that brush with the reality of homeless people. Many letters have been written and shared. Few people have come forward, and we have set up sunshine letter boxes at their homes and offices. It is such a wonderful feeling to see people who have been desolate and homeless feel that they are special and cared for. How I wish my sunshine letterbox to travel across Australia and make the difference in the lives of those who need this positivity the most. But I also dream that there aren't any homeless people at all. Until that day arrives, I want all homeless people to know that they are thought about and cared for. Till then, we can all write letters for them. Isn't it, my friend?
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That was lovely.
And thanks for stepping in.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And I would like
our fellow participants are definitely giving their best today. Thank you so much. And moving on, we have a quick trivia round for all the guests. And again, we would love it if the participants and the audience can send their answers in the chat. Pritika,
Yeah, so this is open to all of the guests. So, do you think being compassionate makes you soft minded or weak, or does it make you stronger?
It does make us stronger, I believe, obviously.
Like to elaborate a bit?
Yeah, because I think it is such a powerful thing to be nice, right? To be nice, to feel, to be able to make the world around better. I think what can be more powerful than that? And if you are powerful, then obviously you're strong, you're not weak. I think this is the biggest problem, that a lot of us view being emotional as being weak. It is often seen as a sign of, a quality that, oh, you're emotional means you're going to face a lot of problems in the world, and you need to toughen up. That is not what it is. And I think, yes, being able to feel, being able to be nice to others is a wonderful thing. Not many can actually do it, and I think it definitely makes all of us really strong. And you really need to do it to and feel it to actually experience it. I might say that from here, that yes, it makes us strong, but when you actually experience it, you will realize that this is so true. Yeah, so that's what I feel. I'll give one very small example from my own journey. So some of you obviously already know that many years back I was volunteering, and I was working on the rehabilitation of human trafficking survivors. And I remember that the first time when I had to really interact with a survivor, I got so overwhelmed with emotions. And one of the ladies there who was helping me out, she told me a very small thing, that she said that this emotion that you have, this is your strength. Because you feel this way, you will be able to help them out. So don't think that, oh my god, I'm getting emotional, I don't think I can really do it. No, this is what will make you do it. And I just took that advice in my head. I went ahead, and that is when I realized that she was so right, that this emotion that we feel, we can channelize it into such beautiful outcomes. And I think that is what we all need to aim to do.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Anu Auntie. That was a really good example. And now I think it's time for a thoughtful story. And what other story than The Girl in the Mirror by Ananya Ramanan. And this is a story about self-compassion. So I would like Mala and Pritulya to come up and narrate the story.
Well, hello everyone, I'm Rudula, and today I'm going to narrate the story The Girl in the Mirror by Ananya Ramanan. Ananya, the voice slowly crept in, mingling into my dream like a palette of watercolors dipped into a bowl of water. I fell into a trance-like state. I have come to cherish the golden capsule of a time where you can relive your dream before it's corrupted by your day's realities. Ananya, the voice seemed relentless. By now, I was awake enough to know whose voice was ripping the delicate fabric of my dream. 5 minutes more, Ma, came the response in my voice, almost as if automated. I could already feel my dream slipping away as the day of the week came into complete focus. Why? Why does Monday always show up so fast and Friday ever so slow? Ananya, wake up, Kana, the voice said again. That endearment told me mom was in a good mood. Dragging myself out of bed, I piled the pillows to one side and pulled the sheets over it so the bed looked made. By now, I knew the landmines that can put mom out of her morning pleasantness in a jiffy. My dream had already recoiled into some obscure corner of my mind. The entire space in my brain seemed to be suddenly occupied with an imposing challenge. How to ensure that I keep my best friend sitting next to me during Hindi class? Ah, my mind let out a sudden scream as I stared at the reflection in the bathroom mirror. A small girl with an itchy red face was staring back at me from the mirror. I hated what I was seeing, and now my worry about my best friend seemed to escalate exponentially. How did those darn rashes appear again? How was I going to face everybody at school? I desperately wanted to miss school, but if I did, I could lose my spot in the class. What if my friends found others and forgot about me? I finally decided to go, but boy, did I want my face to disappear that day. I ended up avoiding my friends. I was hardly talking to anyone. I had clammed up and I knew I was annoying. Wait, didn't I decide to come to school for the exact opposite reason? I wanted them to never stop liking me, but now it seemed like I was only adding fuel to the fire. But only one thing dominated my mind the whole day. What on earth had gone wrong?
Pratulya?
Again, and I hated it. My battle with Examnia never seemed to let up. How was I ever going to be beautiful? How will people ever like me? What will I do now? Why me? I slowly began to resent myself. I started avoiding talking to my friends, despised going to school, and wrote looking into the mirror. Day after day, I Googled 100 face pack recipes, praying they would make my skin better. And day after day, my resentment towards myself only grew. I have had eczema for as long as I can remember. As I grew older, I started noticing hating myself. I got tired of it. Then one day, I grew tired of disliking myself. I grew tired of feeling alone, of not looking at myself and keeping all of this locked up inside me. So I walked up to the mirror and for the first time in ages, looked at myself without turning away. I kept my eyes locked right with the girl on the opposite side. Look at me, I silently commanded. I lifted my hand in the air and waved it at the girl in the mirror. She waved right back at me. I smiled. She smiled back too. Taking a deep breath, I told her how lovely she was. Then I turned around and walked away. I came back to the mirror every day and told her this every day. You are beautiful. Before long, I began feeling like my old self again, happy and grateful. And yet something had changed, something new, something I had never realized before. I loved myself for who I was. I went up to this mirror that morning, and this time all I saw was a radiant, bright soul. I don't know how long I tried desperately to change myself. I don't know how many face packs I had tried and how many creams I'd asked my parents to buy over the years. I don't know how long I had focused on my rashes, giving them all the power they didn't deserve. I had forgotten about all the rest of me, my compassionate heart, insightful mind, lovely family, and everything I did indeed have.
Thank you, Mridula, Pratulya.
Thank you so much. And before we get to the feedback, unfortunately, Dr. Uma and Anupama ma'am have to leave. So we're really grateful that you came here today and appreciated this, all the readers and the performances. It was absolutely amazing to have you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks to Anjali and Deepika for this wonderful book. It's a great effort. I really enjoyed reading this book. And as each of the writers is, or the other children are reading it out, it comes to life. You can connect, even I can connect to it. I can recall events from my childhood, you know, connecting with nature, helping out people, how my grandparents influenced me, the influence of parents, and so many things. So compassion is very, very important in our life, all through our life, and we have to practice every day. Every moment, I think, if it's possible for us to be compassionate, we should be. And I think these children have highlighted it so nicely. I wish, you know, that many people will read this book, read it, and be influenced by it, and share their stories of compassion too. Thank you so much for providing me and Vicky this opportunity to be a part of this effort. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uma.
Thank you. And thank you once again, even before I leave, I just want to thank Anjali, Deepika, Pritika, Anisha, and all the kids here. You know, I think it was such a great start to a Sunday morning. And at Beyond the Box, I think this is what we always focus on, not just inculcating, you know, the love for literature or, you know, improving creative writing skills of kids, but to make them better humans who think more, who are more responsible, you know, who are aware of the world around. And I think, yes, that's why compassion is something that, you know, we also strongly advocate for always. And I've already, you know, shared my thoughts on compassion and, you know, how I feel it's so important. So I'm not going to take up much time, but I just want to congratulate everyone. And I must say that the last story which was picked is actually one of my favorites in the book. I think I've told this to Anjali a lot of times, that because it is on self-compassion, and I want to tell this to all the kids also, you know, that of course, be nice to others, be compassionate, but start with yourself. I don't think we talk enough to kids or anybody for that matter about self-compassion. We are always more, you know, we are hard on ourselves. You know, we are, you know, probably we for the same thing, we would be, when somebody else does it, yeah, that's okay. But, you know, when we do it, we just beat up ourselves over it. And, you know, I think, yes, that has to change. We need to be compassionate to ourselves and love ourselves. So yes, I think that was a great message actually to kind of culminate this event. So bye everyone, take care, thank you, and hope to see you all around soon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, and thank you, Uma. We have one more story though, we would have loved, but I appreciate you being here. So we still have one more story which would be read. But yeah, let's all switch on our cameras and take a group picture before
okay,
Anu
sure,
and
sure.
Uma leave. Everybody, please, your best smiles. Hunar, Pratulya, yes, Shreya, Mridula, Gurnav, Rupak, please. Okay, one, say cheese. Yes. If you have the book around you, please hold the book in your hands. That would be lovely. Okay, great. 3, 2.
I think she got disconnected.
Yeah, I think so.
I have clicked anyway. Somebody else can also click. Anjali got stuck up on this.
I've captured.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uma and Anupama. It was great
Bye-bye.
having
Bye,
you.
Anupama.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I think Anisha, Aryan, all of them have been disconnected. So should we wait for 2 minutes? We'll just wait and let them come back.
I think we can have Khushi get started.
Okay, great. So let's get started with the last story of the event. That is An Inclusive World of My Dreams. So Khushi, please start.
Standing at the entrance of the venue, I waited for the guests to arrive. I had been entrusted with an important task by my parents. Suddenly, my eyes caught the sight of a tall, dark woman wearing an elegant off-white cotton sari with a magenta blouse and a big red bindi walking inside the hall. Auntie, are you Gauri Sawant? The words just flowed. She answered with a smile. Yes, beta, but how did you recognize me? My parents are the organizers of this event. I saw your photo in the event catalog. I was really looking forward to meet you, ma'am. Thank you for the warm welcome. She paused and asked, sorry, I did not get your name. Mishka, I said with a big smile on my face. Welcome, auntie. Please follow me. I shall guide you to the seating area. It was in 2017 when my parents had organized TEDx, the Hyderabad event. I had scanned and read the brochure which carried the pictures and information about the speakers. And though there were many super impressive names who were to speak, I don't know why, my heart was stuck on only Gauri auntie, the transgender activist from Mumbai, eagerly waiting to listen to her story. I was dumbfounded as she shared her story with us. It was heartwarming and at the same time gave me goosebumps. The struggles, the difficulties, the challenges that her community had to go through on an everyday basis were beyond anyone's imagination. What we were listening to was not just rejection from the society, friends, and family, but also an inner struggle of self-acceptance. That day, I had many questions. I was 11 then, and the concept of transgender, sexual orientation, and the difference between gender and sex were new to me. I was more anxious than eager to know it all. I bombarded my mother with all the questions as soon as we reached home. She answered a few and directed me to the internet to learn more. That night, instead of being tired, I researched a lot about transgenders and the LGBTQ community as a whole. The more I read about the subject, the more curious I got. What kind of society were we living in when we can't guarantee basic rights to them even after 70 years of independence? I was angry. I wanted to be one of those citizens who could support them and make this world a better and safer place for them.
I decided to be an ally of the LGBT community, and I knew the way I could do this. Just a year ago, at the age of 10, I had started my personal YouTube channel, Mishka, the Billy of Hollywood. Since then, I had been posting content about various topics. The first video on Power of Being a Girl had been received so warmly by everyone that there wasn't any looking back since then. Cyberbullying, road safety, good touch and bad touch, casteism, body shaming, I have tried my best to spread awareness. Mom, I want to help people like Gauri auntie, and I know exactly what I should do. I needed Mom to come on board with the idea, not just for the buy-in this idea, but also I needed her help with the script and pauses, which I feel challenged as being someone suffering from ADHD. I would like to use my YouTube channel for creating awareness for transgender people. I knew my mom would not disappoint me. She hadn't ever, especially for the social cause. to the extent me and my sister had never ever felt we were adopted children, a fact that many around me highlighted. My parents and family had always loved Mahima and me like their biological children, and I knew she would stand by him. But today, before mom could share her thoughts, I heard this. Mishka, but why do you want to get into it? Said Dadaji. Folding his newspaper, he seemed unhappy about my engagement on this topic. I looked towards my mom and grimaced. She smiled and just through her eyes directed me to be patient. My Dadaji, a former army officer and an anatomist, didn't really understand or get the concept that people could have different orientations. To him, sex and gender were the same thing. It took me quite a while to make him understand that sex refers to the biological characteristics of a being. However, gender is the way one sees self. I sat with him and shared the story of Gauri Auntie and the various research articles that I had been reading. It didn't take him much time, and soon he became the biggest ally at home. Since then, me and my grandfather worked together to create awareness and inclusivity for the community. I felt like a warrior having won a battle at home and spreading compassion towards LGBT community in my own home. And there has been no looking back since then. I've used the mode of my YouTube channel where I have created discussions around and broadcasted videos on topics like understanding transgender people and being alive for the LGBT community. I have voiced my support for the community in my own way by spreading awareness about them in school, in my community, as well as my friends and family. People look at them and treat this community with so much contempt, though everyone seeks them for blessing at auspicious occasions. But that's it. Perhaps that is because of some fear or religious superstition. What about the basic rights of the community? If we cannot be compassionate towards our fellow human beings, what else can we even think of, isn't it? Thank you.
As a strong supporter of the LGBTQIA+, this story was an absolute bliss to hear. Anyone who would like to review this wonderful narration?
Yeah, this is a wonderful story, and I got connected to it so much. It is so difficult because, I have seen a couple of children, from the childhood, it automatically develops, could be due to some hormonal changes, especially in children. Why should a girl always go for a pink color towel, and why should always a boy, prefer a green color or a blue color? It is not like that. The basic thing, what actually these people strive for is acceptance. When every normal human being like us is accepted, why are they not accepted? Why is that discrimination? And why do we still live in that, conservative mindsets and the stereotypic attitudes and all? So this is a wonderful story. It really touched me, and the beautiful presentation by Kushi and Pritika. I loved it so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I think there has been some issues. Anjali ma'am couldn't join back, but that's okay. So this was the last of the stories. We're so glad to have all of you here. And is there anything anyone would like to say?
It was a pleasure being here, Pritika and Anisha. Both of you moderated it fantastically, and was such, and most of my favorite stories were read, today. So I am glad I was part of this event, and I had so much fun. Plus, about that question when you asked, about being perceived as weak if you are, emotional sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person, and all the time I was, when I was in school, I always thought that it is one of my weaknesses. And after I had an alumni meet, and all my friends told me, I just remember you crying all the time, that's all the memory we have about you. And over the years, I met beautiful friends, through my blogging. Mostly I would like to, mention Anupama here. She gave me so much of confidence in myself, and being compassionate herself always encouraged me. Similarly, my friend from my team, from my paper, Asha, when I met her some 7 years back, she gave me the confidence because she was so compassionate towards me. She understood that, this is not my weakness, but, can be channelized in the right way. So today, now I feel that I am much more stronger, and I'm using this sensitiveness that I have within me to, bring the best out of me as well. And even in my work, when I, counsel students, when they come to me for career guidance, even for that, it really helps me. This thing that, came naturally to me because I saw my great-grandfather, spend his entire life for the upliftment of Adivasis. He worked in a place called Dahod, which is in the border of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. And so I saw this experience that in my childhood days, and I could spend time with him, and I learned so much. So yes, all these experiences makes us the person that we are in our adulthood. And I'm glad that today's generation has so much exposure, and we can organize events like this where we use digital technology to get connected, to promote something that is losing its shine, like reading and books, publishing books. Bookstores are getting closed, but yet we use digital medium to enhance that, to promote that. So I just want to share with all the young children that are here that you are actually living in a day and age where you are much more privileged, blessed than all of us. You can have so much more. You can use this so much more to, spread the word basically without meeting in person. And fantastic were here with my Act of Heart, Anjali and Deepika. I'm so glad I could be part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Aisha. Thank you so much. It has been wonderful to have you. And I'm sure some of our kids would like to share their stories with my paper. We already have a message from Hunar that she has written a story and she would like to talk about it now, but I think we are running out of time. So
no, I think Anjali has we'll share the email ID of our publisher. She can always share her story. And we have a page which is called My Story, which we run every month. And we will be glad to publish all the stories that we receive.
So yeah, anyway, so sorry, we are running out of time, but Aisha auntie will definitely take care of your request and you can share that story.
Yeah, thank you, Aisha, and thank you, Rohini. Yeah, Hunar, as we said that you can send the story and would love to have it a part of my paper. And similarly for all of you who have been with us today and made this event really, really special. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you so much all for joining today, and have a good day ahead, and happy World Children's Day to everyone. I believe there's a child inside all of us. So
yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, Anjali and Deepika and Pritika and Anisha. And this book is really going to, go much forward, and, hope it is going to go into every child's hand would be holding this book. And I would also see to it that I could narrate a couple of stories from this book. Thank you so much for this wonderful day.
Thank you, Rohini. That it's such a privilege for us that you have kind of chosen and kind of, said that you would pick up more stories from the book to kind of take it to all the places that you perform. So it is indeed a privilege, I would say, for all of us at My Act of Heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjali.
Thank you so much, all.
Sorry, my network has some issue. So unable to kind of switch on the camera because I feel that otherwise the connection would just get lost. So, but we'll just wrap up with this and look forward to doing more such interactions so that we keep the conversations going on.
Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely Sunday ahead.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.